Hey there, my name is Alex. I am the co-founder of Digital Jungle as well as Prospectio, where we help businesses, we provide resources, and really just help you hit the next level. Our main focus is sales and prospecting, creating the systems that you need to get in front of the right people consistently so you can save time and also make more money and grow your business. So in this video, I'm just going to be showing you a couple of different things around LinkedIn. So first of all, in case you're not familiar, LinkedIn is a B2B platform where you're able to connect with others, form relationships with others, and ultimately do business. So if you do B2B business, I highly recommend that you use LinkedIn. It's very, very powerful, and really you're just able to just target people for whatever roles they're in or any type of industry. And I'm actually going to show you some other stuff in terms of targeting that you can really use to set yourself apart and pretty much just have better messaging overall. So real quick, if you do have a business, one thing I'd recommend, in addition to optimizing your profile, which I have another video on if you want to check it out, it's one of my previous videos. But one thing you can do also in addition is to create a page. So this allows people to search for you, and it just makes you look a lot more official as a business. So for example, my Digital Jungle page, I added all the information, something on the cover photo that highlights what I do, which is creating a community of like-minded entrepreneurs. And I go through what it is that I do and how I help. And even starting to post, this is actually one of my interviews that I did. I branded it to our name, and it really just starts to build a presence. I mean, you're not going to see a ton of traction right away. It is going to take some time, but just having that page could be just kind of an edge when you're reaching out to your target customers. So I highly recommend just doing this. It'll take you about 20 minutes, super easy to do. And I actually might even do a video on how I made this. It's very, very simple. The way that it works with LinkedIn, it's nothing complicated. But anyway, so what I also wanted to talk about in this video is a couple of other features on LinkedIn. So you'll actually notice if you scroll down, you'll actually find groups and hashtags. So these are really powerful in LinkedIn because it just brings like-minded people together, and really this is going to help you with engagement. So you're able to find people that are within certain niches or even sub-niches and reach out to them, or even just see what they're posting and then respond to them and just start a conversation, start a relationship. And that's really what LinkedIn is all about. So for example, I can look up ones like business owner, but what's even better is if I have something that's a little bit more specific. So, let's say I'm looking for restaurants, maybe I want to target restaurant business. And then that way you're not, being generic in terms of who you're engaging with. It's more people that are in your industry that you can actually do business with. So that's super important. So for example, let's say I'm looking for a roofer, for example. So this one has 193 followers. Obviously, this is going to have a lot less than business because business is a lot more generic. If you use Instagram, you probably know what I'm talking about, kind of how it works with, the more specific you get with the hashtags. But yeah, like this one, you can make a comment. This is the CEO of a construction law company. And if this is someone that, you can do business with, like it, leave a comment, maybe reply to these other comments, like them. And then, just basically just start a conversation. You could even DM this person and say, hey, I really liked your post. Actually, here's an example of a way to DM. So when you see a post like this with someone that you want to connect with, it's really important that you try to be as specific as possible. So instead of saying, hey, Alex, I liked your latest post on LinkedIn growth hacking, this is just a quick example, let's connect. What you can say is, hey, Alex, I read your latest blog post on Asafetis LinkedIn personalization outreach strategies to book more demos in 2021. And then, I just put in some random information on that. And then would love to connect, and so that I can learn more. So really this part is just being very specific. So, and if you're not even looking at content, you can even look at their actual page. So in this guy's case, what we'll actually do is open up his profile, and we'll see that all you got to do is just scroll down here, and then you go to activity, see all activity, and then you can look at articles. These are some articles that they posted, so you can comment on the article and then send them a message about it, or even just any regular post with LinkedIn. So really important, like I said, try to start those kind of conversations, be specific about why you're reaching out, and just start to form a relationship with the right people. And so that's another thing. So this is really powerful with the hashtags. If you just go through maybe 3 hashtags a day, and then you just maybe like and comment and message, try to message maybe 5 to 10 people a day, that's just going to cause this momentum, and you're going to start to get some traction. You're going to start to get some real good relationships going for your business that can really just take it to the next level. And, I'm not sure whoever's watching this, how long you've been in B2B, but one relationship could literally be the difference between where you're at and just a whole nother level, being able to grow and scale and collaborate, whatever that means for your business. So the other part is the groups. So that's actually something I'm starting to do a little bit more. So groups is just like Facebook, where you have these groups. You just join them. You can post. You can engage with others. So what you can do is actually go to groups right here, just linkedin.com/groups. And if you scroll down, you can search for groups. So right here it says search, and then you can just look up whatever your industry is. So let's say it's restaurants, and then you can find restaurants in here. So all you have to do is just click on one, request to join, and you can just find people in this group. So you can just even message these people. I believe you can actually send I believe it's an in-mail or something. You get a certain amount. But with groups, you actually get more privileges with that. So you're going to be able to message more people, form some good conversations with that. And then also even the posts, like if you're seeing a lot of engagement, those are always good posts to engage with, and also just reply to all the comments. All right, so we have groups, we have hashtags. So another thing that you can do, kind of a little small trick that I've used in the past, and it's helped me really just get really good conversations with people, being able to target the right people, is what I'll do is I'll actually search, and I'll first start by searching whoever it is that I'm targeting. So let's say I'm looking for a lawyer. What I'll do is I'll go to connections, I'll go to second connection. Let's say, it could be anywhere in the US, maybe it doesn't matter. And then on top of that, what I do is I look at things that we have in common. So maybe we worked at a similar company. So you could, let's say I worked at Google. I could literally just do this, show results. I mean, I don't have any second connections with Google. Maybe I have some third connections. We can check that. But you can kind of just play around with it and see if you have any mutual things. So for example, another thing you can do is instead of the company, is to go to your school. So if you graduated from high school or college, you can look for the same school. So the one that I went to was called Rowan University. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the school, Rowan, show results. Yeah, and you'll see I actually have a ton of people on there. If I want to just go in the second connections, I can actually remove that. That way it's just a friend of a friend instead of a friend of a friend of a friend, or so on, basically. So that's kind of how LinkedIn works. But yeah, I mean, this pulled 4,300 people. If I want to even get a little bit more detailed, I can go to all filters, and then I can go, you can look up lawyer in here. So that way it'll just pull people that are lawyers in their title. And yeah, it doesn't look like it's finding anyone. So we can actually, let's see if we can, sometimes you got to play around with it. So this one, yeah, we have about 5 people. But these are really targeted because you can just say, hey, I saw that we both went to Rowan University. I hope things are going well. Would love to connect. And it's just that you have that trust. You already have, something in common, and you can just do that all from the searches. So, being able to use it creatively is really important. You can also search by industry. You can search by, the different companies, like I said before, different locations. And also if you have Sales Navigator, that can really, really help you do these really targeted searches. So maybe you're looking for someone who's a lawyer at a firm that's a certain amount of employees, and you don't want to target the small ones. You want to target these big law firms with over maybe a couple hundred employees, something like that. Then those are things you can all do with Sales Navigator. But if you just have the free version, in my personal opinion, I mean, most B2B businesses, you'll be fine. There's a lot of options here. There's a lot of targeting. There's a lot of filtering that you can do to really just get in front of the right people. So, and then when you're messaging, kind of like I said before, try to be very specific as possible. So Before I let things off here, I do want to show you this. So basically, we have personalization, so specific personalized connection requests. You want to have something in common. So kind of like I was saying with the school, you could have a mutual LinkedIn group or interests. So anything you can do to kind of just have something in common. And that's why I always recommend when you're optimizing your profile, don't discount anything, any of your experiences, any of your schools, because that might be the bridge that that you need to connect with the right person. Maybe you guys have something in common. Maybe their kid is going to your school. You never know. So always try to include as many things as you can on your profile. And then the second part is appropriateness. So don't jump into the pitch straight away. Your first point of contact should be about providing value. So if you have like a PDF, if you have something of a resource, maybe like in my case, I'm starting to do some podcasts, some interviews. So instead of me just pitching right away, what I've been doing is actually reaching out to people that maybe I can help at some point, but I also just provide value because with the interview, for example, it's like I'm actually helping them. I'm even though it is under my brand, it's content that they can use for their platforms. It's also sharing my audience with theirs and vice versa. So it's just a great win-win situation that we can just get off to right off the bat, and it doesn't cost them $1. So great way to provide value. PDFs, like I said. If you have maybe like a video, maybe you want to do a call. If you are going to do a free call, I recommend limiting it to maybe 10 or 15 minutes because especially if you're like a consultant or a coach, you want to make sure that you're not undervaluing your time because that is what your prices are correlated with. But even without being a coach or something, just be careful with, you don't want to undervalue yourself. Just give something that's easy and doesn't really cost you much time. Applicability, what's in it for them. So really just try to put yourselves in their shoes. Hopefully, as a B2B business, if you are new, I highly recommend trying to understand your industry, talk to people in your industry, find what it is that is their pain points, what are the benefits that they're looking for, and use that in the messaging to get them to respond. So for me, instead of talking about my services and my my systems and how it works, what a lot of people are more interested in is how it saves time and also how it can make them more money. So, that's really from a business perspective, business 101. And, those are really just two big priorities. If you can even get that more specific for your industry, so instead of saving time, you could be like, hey, save time. For example, I work in the janitorial industry. So saving time on sending out flyers, going to networking events, and really just dig deep on those pain points. Because that way you're going to be able to attract the right avatars and the right clients or customers, however you word it. So really just try to put yourselves in their shoes. And if you're not sure what they're thinking or what they're looking for, just test things, test different messaging, ask your audience, go into some of these groups, whether it's on LinkedIn or Facebook or even in-person groups or anything you can find, and really just do your research because yes, it is going to take a little bit of time, but if you're able to, let's say you're even able to get just one connection, that's going to be the difference between where you're at right now and a whole nother level, then why wouldn't you spend the time? So really important. Hopefully this video is helpful. I know this is like a lot of information, but these are just some tips and tricks that I've just learned over the years with LinkedIn, using it effectively. And obviously I'm still learning. There's always new things that are coming on LinkedIn, and it's really exciting too, because as a platform, and as a B2B business owner myself, it's super powerful, and it's good to just be on top of it. And then, once you're ready to actually have an idea of what your target client is and just create some systems so that you don't have to manually do all these things, I'm more than happy to schedule a call with you. Shoot me a DM or a PM, however you call it, in Facebook. And then if you're watching this on something else, just follow us on social media, get in touch with us that way, and we're more than happy to talk, or at least just provide some resources and information that can help you and continue on your way to growing your business. So with that being said, I really appreciate your time and have a great day. Thanks.